So many of us aren't seeing the full picture of what growth really looks like, what up-leveling truly looks like, because yay, you manifested that next level job or that next level home. That's only part of it. Now you got to freaking show up for it. You got to pay the mortgage. You've got to appease the client. You've got to show up in an emotionally intelligent way for that relationship that you wanted. Welcome to the Introverted Influencer Podcast. I'm your host, Erica Van Slyke. My soul's mission on this planet is to help fellow introverts grow their online influence in a state of feminine flow and ease. While battling the woes of depression, anxiety, and even mom guilt, I've somehow managed to build a 6-figure blog without the use of social media and without sacrificing my mental health. If I can do it, you can too. Hello, babe. Welcome back to another episode of the Introverted Influencer Podcast. I just want to tell you, thank you so freaking much for, even though I have not necessarily been consistent lately, for continuing to tune in and be patient with me and actually want to listen to what I have to say. You don't know just how freaking much that means to me and how much I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. So thank you, thank you. Another something I wanted to ask of you today before I move on to the message is that if you have not already, could you please help me grow this show? And you can pay it forward. I don't make you listen through any ads or any sponsorships. I'm not selling you any product. Most of these podcasts, you have to sit while someone injects their offer somewhere into the show, which there's nothing wrong with that, but this is entirely free. So could you please just leave me a 5-star review on Apple or whatever podcast platform you use? That would make the biggest freaking difference in the growth of this show. And if you've already done the review, then please just tag this show, a screenshot of the show, and tag me on Instagram at Designing Vibes so we can get the word out. It only takes a second, but it freaking makes all the difference. And you're creating good karma for yourself. So with that being said, today, this is something that over the past year, I have really had to learn the hard way. And now it's almost in the process of learning it, I felt so alone and ashamed. And I'm thinking, with all the self-development work that I've done for years and years, and being confronted with this has still created, it really knocked me off my game, and I lost some mojo for a while. And so I know if it's doing that to me, then it's got to be fucking with a lot of women out there. And it pisses me off the more I think about it. And that is this false notion of what growth is and what growth looks like. I don't care if we are talking about growth in your business. I don't care if we're talking about personal growth and mindset development, overcoming limiting beliefs or destructive habits. This could be applied to addiction and recovery, but it's this false construct that growth is just exponential. It's linear. We work, we strive, we arrive, and then we get to sit pretty on this plateau and look down at the rest of the world while everybody else struggles. And this was all that I really saw modeled when I got really into, especially following a lot of influential entrepreneurs that they mesh the whole money mindset with law of attraction and business. It's like these voices in this realm would basically only share their wins. And it's like, it's their origin story, which they overcame, and then they made it. And now everything is just sunshine and roses, and it gets better and better, and they make more and more money, and they get more and more followers. And that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. That's what I've learned this year, the past year of my struggle bus saga. And when it all started, when my business had a rough year. The 8 years I've been in business, my business had only grown. And I thought that's all it would do. And I had a setback of a year in 2022. And that really damaged my self-esteem, my confidence, even my belief in the law of attraction and everything that I preach on this podcast. It really hit me hard. It was like the REM song, Losing My Religion. That's what it felt like for a while, because I think this topic is so taboo, because people are afraid to be vulnerable and to admit that no matter how far you get in life, you're going to get knocked off your high horse sometimes. And that's normal. That is a part of the human experience. But there was so much shame in it for me because I had just come out with this podcast, and I felt like, because it took me forever to work up to get the confidence to come out as a leader and to feel like I was worthy enough to be heard. And then shit hits the fan, and it's like, oh my God, maybe I'm not qualified to help others in this way with a podcast and with the mindset and with some of my strategy in business. And I felt like even I was a shitty manifester because I'd had the setback. Like, gosh, am I being punished? Am I doing something wrong? And that's just not the case. And if I do anything with this podcast, is to show you that no, we don't just work our asses off, overcome these demons, and get to a place where nothing bothers us anymore. That is not life. The masculine interpretation of growth would be linear. If you were looking on a graph, it would look like a hockey stick. But that's not, if you look in nature, if you observe nature, if you observe the phases of the moon, the tides in the ocean, the seasons on our planet, even the cycles of our bodies as women, it is not constant. It is not linear. It's not up and up. It's not like a hockey stick on a graph. It's a cycle. It's an ebb and it's a flow. The dragon eating its tail in this eternal cycle of destruction and rebirth. And now that I feel like I have made it to the other side of this very trying cycle for me, the cycle of immense growth for me, I'm announcing right now that since January, I have more than doubled my revenue in my business, and I'm on an upward trend to continue that growth. What I will say is that a lot of times when you are up-leveling, that's the buzzword. We all want to up-level. We want to up our game. But what they don't tell you about the up-level is the immense amount of pressure. Yeah. An up-level, sometimes it's going to feel like a dark night of the soul. For real. Oh, and that's another lie that we've been taught, that you only get one dark night of the soul. That was another part of the resistance for me when this came. When all the struggle came, I was trying to manifest my next level self, my next level revenue. And it felt like a death. I was like, I've been through a few dark nights of the soul. I'm not doing this again. And it's crazy what was thrown at me from a perspective that you would not even really relate to, like business or money mindset. It was major struggles in friendships and relationships. And so it doesn't always have to even be related, like your dark night of the soul situation. But yeah, like up levels, they're not, I know that's the goal, but it doesn't always feel good. You won't even realize this is what now that I'm starting to feel on the other side of this is like, whoa, okay. I'm going to be good here at this level for a while because I realize everything that goes into really becoming the next version of yourself. It's not a cakewalk, okay? And it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. But it's kind of like a video game. And hey, if you listen to a lot of physicists, they're going to tell you anyhow that this reality in some way is a simulation anyhow. So it's like you got to get through that next, that goblin or shoot. I don't even play video games. You got to get past the demon, the Bowser, so you can get on to that next level. So all of that being said, I just wanted to be the one to be real with you today because I feel like that is lacking. The social media, influencer, even podcast realm is so devoid of people who actually share their messy middles and their setbacks openly. Because as I have seen it, it's only been this initial humble beginning, the heroine's journey of they're born into this life with something to conquer. They conquer it, they get to the other side, and now they're just riding the gravy train. And I wish that I would have just had someone to tell me when I went through my up level that felt like death, that no, I was actually exactly where I needed to be, that no, it didn't mean I was being punished, or that I was doing the whole manifestation thing wrong or the business thing wrong. It was all intended for the betterment of myself and my business and even my relationships that were challenged. And so if any of this rambling is for anything today that serves any purpose, it's just to let you know, no, you're not doing it wrong, but you will fuck things up when you get into this mode of life is out to get you. And if you start to perceive what's coming at you or your setbacks as, oh God, it's all over, I'm doing something wrong, it's okay to feel that momentarily. You'll have your off days, your off weeks, your off months. Yeah, almost had a whole off year. But the beauty of really doing the spiritual work is that your baseline vibe, your baseline self-respect, self-worth, while it will feel like it fluctuates, it's ultimately at this beautiful spot to where you don't self-destruct. If you can stay present, if you can perceive what is being thrown at you as it's for you, and no, you're not going to stay in that mindset like 24/7, but if you can go back to that baseline, if you have a baseline of self-love, and if you can forgive yourself for your off days, but continually go back to your truth, that's how you'll get through this easier and drop the resistance. Because my struggle didn't have to last a year. If I could have just let go of my grip and my delusion, I was in so much delusion because I didn't want to feel like I was being punished or like I had done something wrong. If I would have just accepted it as part of the cycle of growth, I would have been way better off. I would have been through this so much faster. So don't make this about you being wrong in any way. Go with it, flow with it, and continually decide to perceive it for your good. And know you will get through it like you have time and time and time again. It's always for your good. And if anything falls off, if you lose anything, I'm like air quotes, losing, it wasn't for you. Something better, something more authentic is in store for you. I hope that you were feeling less broken from my rambling today. It just really chaps my ass that so many of us aren't seeing the full picture of what growth really looks like, what up-leveling truly looks like, because yay, you manifested that next level job or that next level home. That's only part of it. Now you got to freaking show up for it. You got to pay the mortgage. You've got to appease the client. You've got to show up in an emotionally intelligent way for that relationship that you wanted. We've got to, I think, collectively get out of the disillusionment. And nature doesn't lie, baby. Nature, with her ebbs and flows and circles and spirals, not this damn falsehood of up, 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 up. It's not how it works. And with that little rant, I am now going to close it off, and I'm going to send you all the good vibes. I hope you love the shit out of yourself unconditionally, regardless of what is being thrown at you right now, because you are beautiful. You are special. You are needed. You are here on this planet for a reason. Don't forget it. Thank you so much for stopping by this week. I make no money from this show. Actually, it costs me money to produce and host. So the best way you can show your support for this passion project of mine is by leaving the show a 5-star written review on Apple. Also, if you would like to contribute monetarily to the show, you can leave a tip in my digital tip jar, which I have the link in the show notes. You can always share it with a friend who you think could benefit from the message. Or even better, you can take a screenshot of this episode, upload it to your Insta stories, and tag me in it at Designing Vibes. Sending you my love.